if you've had a productive day? What makes you feel that, yes, that was a good morning, my hour writing? Do you have a word count you strive for, or a scene, a chapter?
I generally try to write, it depends on where in the process I'm in the book, because if I don't have an idea, my productive day might be just thinking of a couple of plot points in a book. If I'm in a first draft stage, a great day may be writing a chapter. If I'm in a revision stage, it might be revising 10 pages or 20 pages. So I have different expectations depending on where I am in a book, but I generally have expectations, and sometimes that takes a half hour. Sometimes it takes more than that. I try to balance my time so I don't get my work done in my allotted amount of time for the day. I will come back and work later. My schedule is pretty tight, so I don't have a whole lot of flexibility, but I can go to bed later, or I can take less time watching a Netflix movie or something. So I can find, if I really, really want to, I could usually find the time. But what's successful really depends on what I am currently doing and what the process is on the book.
And then how about with your, okay, so the hour can be writing, revising, whatever it is that needs to be done. Does research count?
It would generally do a lot of, most of my books are fiction, and most of my books are kind of zany, or certainly are at least based on experiences that are similar to what I've had. So I don't do historical fiction, for example. So my books tend to not need a lot of research. And if I'm writing something and I will need to know some information for that scene or for that dialogue or for a character's backstory, I will do the research. And yes, I would consider that part of that time.
And then how about your reading habits? Are you a must read every day, or?
I certainly read every day. I think all authors love to read. They love, I love the written word, whether I'm writing it or someone else is writing it. And I think for any author, reading is a critical component. And I'll use the analogy of anyone who is passionate about something probably enjoys doing as much as they do listening or watching. If you love to dance, you probably really enjoy watching dancers. And you don't just enjoy it from an entertainment perspective. You enjoy learning. You see the moves they make and you want to emulate those moves that inspire you to become a better dancer. Or if you're a musician, you probably listen to a lot of music. And maybe you want to play the same chords that you're hearing, or maybe you want to try that song, or maybe it inspires you to create your own song or your own type of music or your own type of phrasing. And the same thing at least with me, when I read things for entertainment value, certainly, but I also pick up things. I get scared. I go, wow, how did that writer do that? I would love to how they scared people. Or how do they make me, like Robert, you mentioned you cry. How did that writer make me cry? What did they do? What was the scene they did leading up to that? How did they make that scene compelling? It was sad. And then when I'm own writing, maybe I will take some of those hints with me. I think all artists borrow from other artists, and I'm certainly not shy to admit that a lot of my books are inspired by certain things or certain phrasings or certain elements that other authors use. And if I wasn't reading constantly, I couldn't bring those things to my own writing. So I love writing myself. I love reading what other people have written, not only for just the joy of reading, but for the aspects of helping me in my own writing.
Makes sense. So if you can see other writers doing things well, or in some cases not so well, then that gives you an idea of what you need to do to make better your own work, right?
For sure. And it's as a writer, there are certain writers whose work touches me more, maybe more similar to my style, or writers that I am impressed with, or writers that go, wow, I could never write something like that. And it amazes you, just like anyone. If you see someone doing something that you didn't think, wow, that's above what I could do, or just different from what I can do, then that really helps you internalize your own writing and helps you understand where you're coming from as well. So there's a lot of things that as a writer, I learn other writers, and that can improve me as an artist in all kinds of different ways.